Hey there, welcome back to Tabletop Witchcraft. This week we're going to change things up a little bit, well, actually a lot, and we're going to jump right into the video with an awesome interview with DM Scotty, Gareth from the DMGINFO, my brother Nathaniel, and myself to bring to you the new module from the Quest Givers, Mountain Mayhem. Hey guys, how's it going?
Excellent.
Great to be here.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Been looking forward to doing this for a while. You guys have been super patient. We've been waiting on some other video to come out in order to film all this. So thanks, I really appreciate it.
Oh, we appreciate working with you because it's been a lot of fun. So
Sure has.
Yeah, so I guess we could jump right in. What I want to do in the video is chat a little bit about the module, let everybody know what it's about, and kind of like how we arrived at the scenes and why we did what we did. So I guess we could jump right in with the, I guess my portion or my contribution to this, which would be all of the terrain that you'll find in the module. And that sort of drove the locations in the book. So you'll notice some of the sewers and other locations. I've got my market in there, the market square, the castle. And yeah, we just decided to work the module around those specific things. And Gareth kind of hooked us up with some really great quests around all that.
well, to be fair, we all came up with the story together. So,
Mhm.
although I wrote it, I was basically filling in the blanks. I was the chat GTP of the Mountain Mayhem. But yeah, we all came up with the story and the structure, and how it would work based on the terrain, the beautiful terrain that you've made and everyone has seen on your channel. And yeah, so if you're a fan of all those kind of things and you would go, wow, I'd love to, play in a location like that, or you've made that terrain already from the plans on Tabletop Witchcraft, this is the module for you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I really enjoyed making the terrain in this, but I also enjoyed doing the photography for it because I really had to get a little creative with some of the shots. But I'll tell you what was really cool, seeing the final module and all the little additions you guys made to the pictures to kind of make it feel like, it wasn't shot right here in the studio.
In addition to all the photography too, Scotty, why don't you talk about the art style for the module?
Oh yeah, here at Quest Givers, we really love that old school look,
Yeah.
and so I try to go for that. I try to go for that, that line art kind of look. And this was just fun to do all these different pictures. We have the noble with the rat on his shoulder, and we have
Mhm.
we have of course John featured in the module
That's
as the
awesome. Thank
creator of
you.
the airship, the weapon, which is
Yeah.
you know makes a lot of sense since you literally created the airship. And so yeah, that's where I was coming from with the stuff, and I particularly love the headman, where the characters are being taken up before the king, and
Yeah.
others who have been given the
Yes.
same mission are being executed in front of the play. So you got the headsman with the axe right over, the bloody axe over, and yeah, just some fun pictures that really accentuate. Another thing though we wanted to do was we had a lot of stuff featuring rats. There's a rat plague going on in the
Yeah.
module, and we have rats everywhere in the little unexpected places in the module, which is really fun.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. Nice little
Sure.
touch.
Yeah.
I included the rats because you did that video on making little rats. And so I
Yeah.
thought it would be a really nice touch. So if you're running the module and you want some rats, you can check out the Tabletop Witchcraft rat video. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I actually made those out
Another
of like
tie-in,
the
yeah.
big pen tip on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, why don't you talk briefly too about the cover because I thought that was really cool watching you, Gareth, come up with like layer by layer almost. I felt like I was working in like Photoshop, yet I was watching just pictures of you. You'd send like a picture, like one or two or three a day of these different overlays to make that. It was really awesome.
Yeah, so the way I work is I basically build the painting up from the background to the foreground. Um, and so it started with basically the sky and the mountains, and then slowly added detail. And then once I sort of put more foreground layers, I went back in again and added more depth into it. So sort of putting more aerial perspective in the mountains in the background and so on and so forth. And then, you guys would know that there's elements in that painting that are now not there anymore because I painted over them with other objects and things.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you did all that work and then you just painted over it. So for me, it's I'm always trying to try new things and to try different styles and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So people are used to me doing sort of that black and white line art, and I wanted to do more a sort of storybook kind of cover, which is similar to what we're doing in our next series of modules, the Hidden Valley. And yeah, so it was an attempt to sort of get that and to have the depth and to see the adventurers heading towards this fortress in the mountain.
There's a lot to look at in that cover, and some really cool things, like even the wagon. It's a craft from my channel, and I thought that was really awesome how you added that in there.
Well, I just revealed to Scotty there's another little thing that you can see. What did I say, Scotty?
It's the horse head. Like if you look at the wagon going off screen, if you look at the other side, there's a horse head coming on the other way, and it's basically the horse head.
Yeah, that's awesome.
From the wagon.
So there's
I
lots
love
of
all the little details, discovering the details in the picture,
Yeah.
like the assassin hidden under the bridge, the cave that has something to do with the module. All this little stuff
Right.
starts to come out. When you initially look at it, it's a nice picture, but then you start discovering all these details. I love that about your work, Gareth.
Thanks.
And one thing that's really cool, like your cover art, that really progressed over time, so did the story of the module. We kept working on it, making changes, adding in little intricacies and twists. So Gareth, as the main writer, why don't you go ahead and tell us just a little overview about the story as a whole?
Yeah.
Well, if anyone loves the movie The Dirty Dozen, it's basically a fantasy version of that. Condemned prisoners are given a final opportunity to get a pardon from the king. And they say, well, you basically got to do this mission. You got to go to this place, and these people are creating some sort of weapon, and we want the plans, or we want you to destroy the weapon. Either it's like a sort of you got to go and do this mission. So, and to stop you from running away, you're tagged along with the royal assassin, who she's not going to take any crap.
Yeah.
And so you're led into this foreign city. Well, it's not really foreign. It's the same land, but you are like foreigners imprisoned. Everyone thinks you're a spy, and no one believes you, and so on and so forth. So you are then led into this enemy fortress, and then you basically got to find your way around. You got to find the guy who invented the weapon. You got to find the plans. You got to deal with the local underworld and all this sort of thing to try and A, complete your mission, and B, survive.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck. And C, at least get some kind of treasure out of this module.
Right? Yeah.
And so one thing that's really exciting about this story and this quest that we've come up with together is that it's actually one of your longest stories overall, right? Out of all of your quests.
Yeah. So there's a lot of depth to this. The way we do modules is different from the way anybody else does modules, in that it's system agnostic. So that it doesn't matter whether you're playing D&D or Pathfinder or Shadow Dark or whatever is new and fancy. You can run that system guaranteed with this module. What it does give you is it gives you where you should be doing checks, what style of check it should be, an easy or hard or whatever. And it gives you the flavor of the monsters and the NPCs. So your job as the GM is to stat it out for the level of your characters. So it doesn't matter what level they are, it'll work. So you stat it out, and you get to add your own stamp to the module, rather than you just running it straight out of the book. Now you can run it straight out of the book. If you're one of those people who can just do things like that on the fly, it's excellent for you. But if you want to take a few hours to sit down and stat all the characters and so on and so forth, and you love doing that kind of thing, this module is also for you.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and then of course you've got the NPC dialogue, which is something that's very different from everybody else. We actually give you all the dialogue that all the NPCs say and what they know about what subject. So, especially in a module like this where there's the intrigue and trying to find things out, and will they help you, will they not help you? All that kind of stuff has already been done for you, so you don't have to think about it or try to remember what was in some kind of summary of the module. It's all there on the page right in front of you.
Exactly. That's one thing that I'm really excited about with this module as our group's DM. I like two things. I like having everything right at my fingertips, ready to go. And I love having universal things I can put into the story. So anytime I want my players to be thrown in dungeon, we can snap this story right in place and have them go through this as well. So that's awesome that it's so universally made for everything.
Yeah. We love to do that sort of thing. All our modules are written so you could basically insert them into any kind of world. So it's generic enough that it's will fit pretty much everywhere. Yet it's also specific enough that it feels like it's not just another D&D module. Just go here, kill monster, get treasure. It doesn't. This feels like you are actually playing in a film. You're actually participating in this adventure as a character in a movie, The Dirty Dozen, but set in a fantasy world with rats.
It sounds like we might be able to expect some twists and turns in the story then too.
And upside downs and lefts and rights and everything.
So we'll see how things go. I mean, maybe there's some talk in the future about continuing. We'll leave you a little bit of a cliffhanger, so we'll see how all that pans out. But yeah, guys, I really had a good time working with everybody. Collaborating with you guys was awesome. It always is. It's always been a great time collaborating with you. Make sure to check out Gareth at the DMGINFO on YouTube. Scotty, DM Scotty, check his channel out. Quest Givers, head over to Quest Givers, check out all their modules. You'll find a link in the merchandise section in my website, www.tabletopwitchcraft.com, where you can go click on that. It'll just take you right over to Quest Givers, and you can pick it up there. I think I mentioned you get a set of plans or two with the module for this. I don't remember if we did one or two, but they're in there, so you can craft along a little bit. And Patreon, swing over there. I think we all got Patreon. Check us all out. I'll have some links in the video description for some easy access to those. And all right, guys, thanks again. I appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you around.
See ya.